In his new book, our friend Clint Watts, former FBI special agent and cybersecurity expert, warns about the dark side of social media brought to us by none other than Russia. Quote, the American electorate remains divided, government operations are severely disrupted, and faith in elected leaders continues to fall. Americans still don't grasp the information war Russia perpetrated against the West, why it works, why it continues. Here to talk about it is the author, Clint Watts, a former FBI special agent, as we said, member of the Joint Terrorism Task Force, who has testified before the Senate Intelligence Committee on Russian interference in our elections. This new book's full title is Messing with the Enemy: Surviving in a Social Media World of Hackers, Terrorists, Russians, and Fake News. Welcome to you, my friend. We hope a good number of people pick this up and take it home. And first off, a very basic question. How did Russia know we were susceptible? How did they know they could walk in here electronically and take advantage of it? How did they do that?
They perfected it on their own people first. The Russian people are the ones most subjected to this disinformation system. They learned long ago that the only thing worse than no information is too much information. This is how they went from the Soviet Union, where they controlled everything, to Russia now, where they just annihilate you with so much information you can't tell fact from fiction. The other thing that the Russian information system really understands is infiltrate audiences by looking like and talking like the audience you want to influence. So that's why the troll farm, those accounts are so important, because they look like Americans and they talk like Americans, and they're saying things that sound very American, which allows you to then nudge that audience in the direction that you want. And I think what we need to really look at now is we talk a lot about the Russians in 2018 with the elections. I would tell you the Americans are the ones we need to worry about in 2018. When I'm watching social media today, I see far more American organizations, what I call trolling as a service, corporations with lots of our data, lots of artificial intelligence that can do this much faster and to a more devastating effect. And so when the political campaigns come around in 2018 and 2020, they're all copying this playbook. And what the president, you were just talking about from that New York Times article, he is using that playbook. It's not Russia doing it. He is duplicating that effort.
When you were a cadet at West Point, I was thinking about this today, you were taught leadership. That's what they do there. You were taught warfare. You were taught history. I am guessing, knowing a little bit about when you graduated, you weren't taught Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook.
Yeah, it was interesting. When I showed up at West Point, we had email in 1991. So we were the first people with email. I was the first class to have a color monitor, which was a big deal. By the time I graduated, we had the internet coming online for the first time. By the time I was an Army captain and commanding an infantry company, we got the first GPS hooked up Force 21 technologically innovative cameras. That all happened in 10 to 11 years. And you fast forward 15 more, we've gone from where the internet brought everybody together, and social media has really torn everybody apart, because you can compartmentalize an audience, play to their preferences, play to their biases, and really separate them in a one-to-one way. And so we see those divisions, and we talk about Russians messing with our election, but their greatest achievement really was unifying an alternative right audience that stretches from France, Germany, the United States, and Canada as a mobilizer against democracies worldwide. They don't command it. They have just unified it in such a way, becoming the connective tissue to really mobilize against democracies.